Welcome to The Thread, presented by Citi.
Mets playoff hopes are on the line tonight with their ace on the mound. Hey, everybody, welcome on in. I'm Justine Ward. Plenty of baseball ahead, including whether the latest version of Edwin Diaz will stick around or cool off. Plus, could Carmelo Anthony really be a Knick again? Hey, it's not impossible. But we start with the Mets, and here was Noah Syndergaard last night after losing to the Cubs, coming off arguably the worst start of his career.
They capitalized on every mistake that I made, and it just seemed like, tonight when it rains, it pours. So it just, when you get your kicked in like that, it just kind of gives you a different perspective on things. Definitely a terrible feeling, just disappointed in myself. I had the opportunity to go out there and do something big tonight, and I let the team down.
Just how critical does tomorrow's game feel?
It's huge, but we got our ace on the mound. He's going to do what he does best. I predict he's going to be pretty lights out for us tomorrow. And, we're just going to continue to play good baseball.
Time now for the direct message with Mets radio announcer Wayne Randazzo. And Wayne, you just heard Syndergaard there. He didn't really hold back post-game. How much of Rosario's error threw him off last night?
Well, it seemed like a lot, Justine, that really after Ahmed Rosario made that play, the ball got away from second base and a run scored. Syndergaard just could not get it back together mentally, left a lot of pitches up in the zone after that, and the Cubs caved it in from there. 6 runs in that first inning, and it never got better after that. And for Syndergaard, really a night that he had ill-timed yesterday because the Mets needed him to go out and continue what he had been doing at 8 straight quality starts, the longest streak of his career, but last night just wasn't there.
Yeah, he even said how important tonight is from Syndergaard. He said DeGrom is the stopper. We know Jacob DeGrom. He showed us he thrives in tough situations like this. Is the season on his shoulders tonight, Wayne?
Well, it's a strong statement to make at this point. There's still 29 games left after tonight. But if they lose this game, they're 5 games out. The Cubs, they're a team that has struggled at times this year. I don't know if they're going to give up a 5-game lead with a month or so to play. There's still time for the Mets to make it up, but losing this one tonight really makes it difficult. A victory, you're only 3 back with 29 to go. You have to feel pretty good about that. You got some teams coming up that are in front of you, the Washington Nationals over Labor Day, the Phillies this weekend. So there are still some games for the Mets to win and make up some ground, but you don't want to dig more of a hole than you're already in. So this is a hugely important game, but the Mets do have the right guy on the mound, Jacob DeGrom.
All right, Wayne, appreciate you coming on. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, as we welcome in Chris Williamson in our panel. Chris, it certainly feels like a must-win for the Mets. The only thing that concerns me about Jacob DeGrom, he has a 1.04 ERA post-All-Star break, but only 4 wins in that time.
Well, that's because of the offense. The offense doesn't do their job, as I'm joined by Pete McCarthy and Rob Perez of the Action Network. Now, getting back to Noah Syndergaard, what in the world happened to this man last night, Rob?
I think he just got his clock clean. There's no other way to put it. It wasn't a matter of him choking. We've seen him go out there in a wild card game, World Series, 2015 Game 5. He comes out of the pen against the Dodgers. He has been there so many times. I think he just saw an error and just couldn't get it back together. And we're so used to him, DeGrom, even Stroman to an extent, show up and deliver during this run the past couple weeks that he had an off night like everyone else in this league at some point.
No, it's just terrible time for it, clearly, in what felt like a must-win game for the Mets last night. And, yeah, maybe the error is what threw him off, but I know it was odd to see Noah Syndergaard giving up 3 home runs, 10 runs allowed, 9 of them earned. There's no doubt about it. That was the worst start of Noah Syndergaard's career. And he's been so good in big situations before. He's been pitching as well as he had since he tore his lat in the beginning of 2017, I thought, of late. So it was shocking to me how poorly Noah Syndergaard performed yesterday. And again, the timing just couldn't have been worse.
The most shocking thing about this is the Syndergaard that we know from the past 5 seasons, and even this year when he was technically struggling, is he's able to grind through. Right. Even if he doesn't have his stuff. Like DeGrom, what makes them great is when they're not pitching at their best, they can still get outs and get you through innings. He got hammered. I mean, those balls were leaving the stadium in seconds. So to see that happen after the error, it's not big, like the error affected him, but that wasn't the Syndergaard that we're used to, because even not at his best, he's always delivered for us.
Now, how surprised, though, were you, Pete, the fact that that error kind of just caused him to unravel after that point? Because you saw the body language. The body language was very expressive, and from there, he he couldn't get it back.
Well, look, the Mets haven't been a good defensive team Noah Syndergaard's entire time here, so I don't see why that should have rattled him in such a way that he hasn't experienced before. You know, that's what kind of surprises me about it. Ahmed Rosario's been fantastic over the last couple of months, but he was making a ton of mistakes early on in the season. So it's not like it's something that these Mets pitching staff hasn't dealt with before. You know, it's hard to explain exactly, you know, lockdown, what went wrong, but it was just, it was a brutal outing.
To your point real quick, he's been on bigger platforms. The spotlight wasn't
Absolutely.
too big for Noah Syndergaard. He's pitched at the highest level. This is just a matter of he didn't have it. End of story. And the Mets have to bring it every single night. Otherwise, they're not going to make the playoffs. The Cubs are playing Seattle, San Diego, and Milwaukee here in the next 3 series. You have to win no matter what. Just did.
It's
End of
must
story.
win. Must win. All right, so how important is it for the Mets offense to come out early and give Jacob deGrom some run support tonight, man?
Hey, Jacob deGrom's got to hit 3 homers tonight, I think, the way things have been going. But, yeah, I think the big thing for the Mets offense is they're getting guys on base. They're getting opportunities. They're just not coming up in those big situations. Even last night when they do score 7 runs, 3 for 15 with men in scoring position. And when you got to the 8th and the 9th innings and they had some really big opportunities, they did get the tying run to the plate in the 9th. That's where everything fizzled. And we've been seeing that throughout this 5-game losing streak. So whatever it is, they got to take a deep breath and just try to shake off this past week. They got to figure out how to find that big hit because it has not been there for them.
They need run support for the mental edge as much as they do in the box scores on paper, because the last time Jacob deGrom got more than 5 runs, I feel like Bernard Gilkey was looking up at the spaceship in Men in Black. It's been that long for me. But this team, at least in my opinion, has been overachieving all year. They're simply not good enough to rely on just talent to get them there. They need energy, they need momentum, they need emotion, and they're going to get that by giving their ace runs, which he hasn't had in his entire career, it feels like, at Citi Field. So go out there, get some runs. Let's change the vibe around these parts, because it does feel like the ship is taking on water here, and the only way to change that is by giving your ace the run support he needs.
So in that first inning, they're really going to hit the ball.
Just hit it.
Homers, you know, singles, doubles, triples, whatever you need. All right, Justine?
Last night is
Exactly,
what you're saying.
precisely.
All right, thanks, guys. Big opportunity for the Mets tonight. Ahead on the thread, the NFL preseason ends tonight. Daniel Jones will start for the Giants. Will he continue to live up to all the hype? Plus, could more defensive help be on the way for the Jets ahead of Week 1? Our NFL insider is here. He's in-house to talk Jets and Giants. That's next.
The Thread is brought to you by Citi. Know what else is amazing? Sending money to friends and family with Zelle on the Citi mobile app. Designed for you to spend less time on it.
Change has many faces, names you'll never know. The bright-eyed, the brave, the visionaries. Where challenges exist, you'll find them. At Citi, we empower people who are out to change the world. Because tomorrow belongs to those who welcome it with open arms. Citi, welcome what's next.
I knew it. Jeff! I knew this game would be a shootout, so I took the over on FanDuel Sportsbook. You just choose your bet, lock it in, there you go. If only everything were this simple. Hey, man.
Place bets on FanDuel Sportsbook in just a few simple taps. Join today and get your first bet risk-free up to $500.
How do you gauge the greatness of an SUV? Is it to carry cargo or to carry on a legacy? Its show of strength or its sign of intelligence? In crossing harsh terrain or breaking new ground? This is the time to get an exceptional offer on the Mercedes of your midsummer dreams at the Mercedes-Benz Summer Event, going on now. Lease the GLA 250 SUV for just $329 a month with credit toward your first month's payment at the Mercedes-Benz Summer Event. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Tonight, Ahmed Rosario and the Mets look to set the tone in the wild card hunt as they go to battle against Chris Bryant and the Cubbies at Citi Field.
Base hit and the Mets win the ball game.
Coverage begins with Citi pregame tonight at 6:30, only on SNY.
Welcome back. Football starts a week from today as the Packers and Bears kick things off next Thursday night. The Giants and Jets will get things going on Sunday, September 8th, as the Jets have the early game and are a 3-point favorite over the Bills. The G-men are in Dallas as 7-point dogs to the Cowboys. We're going to send it over to Chris as we have a very direct message this time. Ralph Vacchiano in-house. Hey, guys.
He's finally in studio.
How about that?
You know, we usually see him on the other screen, but now he's here. Ralph Vacchiano joins me and Rob. So, you know, Daniel Jones has looked very impressive this preseason, but Pat Shurmur keeps saying Eli's the starter. Eli's the starter. How much of a leash does Eli have when we go into this season?
Pat Shurmur keeps saying that, and then he doesn't say it. So he goes back and forth on this all the time. But Eli Manning's the starter, and the truth is the leash is as long as they're in the playoff race. Now, exactly what that means, we don't know. Is it going to be when they're mathematically eliminated, or could it be if they get off to an awful start, 1-5, 1-6? I think they would then make the switch then. So when they think the playoffs are just hopeless, that's when they make the change.
Are playoffs the expectation internally there? Because we're far removed from a team that did not look like a playoff squad last season.
With OBJ.
With OBJ on the team as well. He's not there anymore.
Nobody outside believes this, but inside, they really think that they've retooled enough to make the playoffs. They think Eli Manning is that kind of quarterback. They think with the offensive line rebuilt in front of him that they've finally got a chance to have him succeed. And they have Saquon Barkley, which they think he alone might be good for 9 wins.
So if you're the Giants, Eli means the world to this franchise and this organization. I'm thinking of situations in the past of recently Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield, even going as far back as Bledsoe and Brady. Does it have to take a injury for Daniel Jones to see the field, or would they potentially pull the plug on him if they stumble out of the gate?
No, I think if they stumble out of the gate, they're going to give him a long leash. I mean, if they're 0-2, 0-3, I don't think they make the change. I really don't.
What about 0-4?
All right, maybe 0-4. Now you're getting there. But you see, you don't know exactly where the line is, but you start to get there. As soon as they look at it, and especially if they think that the quarterback is the problem, if everything else is working and Eli's just struggling and they're 1-4, something like that, they might make the change then. They'll do it very carefully and tactfully, but I don't think they will let him be the reason they don't make the playoffs.
And would the Giants go out of their way to protect just the image and the reputation of Eli at that point? Because if you take him out because he's struggling, let's remember Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowl rings with these guys for a reason. Like, just taking him out and making him retire out of nowhere doesn't feel like something the Giants would do.
They've got to be really careful. It's really a delicate situation for them. If they want to do right by him, they understand that a couple of years ago, the whole thing with Geno Smith starting for him was a mess, and nobody was happy how they handled it. So, I don't think you'll see Eli struggling. Daniel Jones comes in mid-game. I think if it happens, it's going to be obvious to everyone that Eli doesn't have it anymore, and we'll know. You'll get a whole week to prepare. Eli will have a million conversations. They'll be as delicate as possible.
As they should be with a guy like Eli Manning. All right, so, Ralph, could the Jets pull off a trade for Jadeveon Clowney? Would it make sense for them? Because of the contract situation, they have a chance to sign him to a long-term deal.
Yeah, I love Jadeveon Clowney as a player, and I think if the Jets add him, it would be fantastic. They're missing an edge rusher. That's the missing piece to me for this team. Whether it makes sense depends on the price. For all the reasons that you just said, he's $16 million on the franchise tag this year. You can't sign him to a long-term deal. He's a one-year rental. What are you going to give up for that? Are you going to give up a left tackle, a first-round draft pick for a guy who might be gone in a year? That probably doesn't make any sense. But hey, if the Texans get desperate and want to deal him and it's a third-round pick or something like that, or a lesser player, they've got to consider it. This guy's a difference maker.
There's a couple times during the season that you turn on the TV and you see on the bottom line that a star player got traded for a 5th-round pick or a 6th-round pick. Like, that's all they got. But I think what people have to remember here, what you're talking about, is they can't acquire Jadeveon Clowney the same way Khalil Mack went to the Bears.
Right.
Long-term deals and a massive package. Is there a way for the Jets to get around that, or is it simply rental only?
No, it's simply rental only. There was a deadline for franchise players to sign a long-term deal of July 15th. It applies to his old team and to his new team. They would have to wait till, I believe it's December 30th, to even discuss a long-term deal. Now, of course, they could probably get around that and have a wink-wink nod agreement and things like that. But legally, they can't even talk about a long-term deal or even ask him if he's interested in one until the season's over. So it's a risk. I mean, he could decide, you know what? On December 29th, he could say, you know what? I know I said I like to hear, but I really don't.
Yeah, very true. All right, it would be a big splash if they do end up getting him for whatever they give up. All right, Ralph, thanks so much. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me in.
Let's do it some more sometime.
Absolutely.
All right, ahead on the thread, the Yankees bats continue to crush the long ball, but will this hot streak carry over into the playoffs? Some Yanks talk right here when The Thread returns.
Hi, welcome to Toyota's
National Clearance Event.
Yes. Now's the time to get a great deal on
The last of the 2019s.
Huh, I'm impressed. But the deals will only last until
September 3rd.
What am I thinking now?
Right now, lease a new 2019 RAV4 with all-wheel drive for just $209 a month. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance.
Save on the last of the 2019s.
Coming today!
Okay, what's up?
Toyota, let's go places.
Breaking Benjamin, live in concert. Saturday, August 31st, Northwell Health at Jones Beach Theater. With special guests, Chevelle, 3 Days Grace, Dorothy, and Diamante. On sale now, part of the Cadillac Tri-State Concert Series. Breaking Benjamin, new album, Ember, out now.
If you were to attend a party with all of history's most influential people, the creators, the innovators, the pioneers, you'd notice a common theme. But if you were to choose one mother or father to throw such a party, it would have to be the father of tequila. Cuervo Tradicional since 1795, the father of tequila.
The Joseph A. Bank Labor Day sale. Save up to 60% off everything. All suits on sale starting at $199. Dress and sports shirts for $29. Plus an extra 50% off clearance. The Labor Day sale, only at Joseph A. Bank.
So Josh, you going for our Drive Safe and Safe discount?
Yep, using the app, driving safe. You wanna go, bro? Do not mess with my discount.
Get a discount up to 30% with Drive Safe and Save.
And the 2-2 swung on and hit high in the air to left field. Back goes Lopes on the track at the wall. She's gone. Another home run by Judge. A Judgian blast. He homers to deep left field. All rise. Here comes the Judge.
Yes, just what you want to see at the end of August for a team with World Series aspirations. A very hot Aaron Judge. The Yankees continue to hit homers, 70 in fact in August, adding on to the record set for most home runs in a calendar month. Judge, a big part of that. Chris, 6 homers in that 9-game road trip.
Justine, I think it's safe to say your boy's got his swagger back. As we have time for some Fahrenheit 41, where we determine if a player will stay hot or cool off. So let's start off with one of the hottest Yanks right now. As Justine mentioned, Aaron Judge. He's been unstoppable on the road trip. Rob, will he stay hot or is he going to cool off?
I'm going with stay hot here. First of all, the numbers never lie. Last 7 games, he's 11 of 28, 5 homers and 8 RBIs. Look at this. We even changed the lighting in here because we just put Aaron Judge's picture up. He has his average all the way back up to what he was doing last season at 278. Most important, I want to make the excuse that like he's doing this because it's in Yankee Stadium. That's not the case here. Aaron Judge is doing this in T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Oakland, Dodger Stadium. These are pitchers' ballparks where he's raking. So he is seeing the ball no matter where he is. Big step for him.
And the big difference has been he's pulling the ball now, where he hadn't pulled a home run until last week all season. So that's a nice thing to be able to bring back into the toolbox for Aaron Judge. And I think he's a great player. He's reached that point. He is a great. You're only going to hold down greatness for so long. So it's just a matter of time until he got right. And now he's doing everything that he needs to do to be that MVP candidate that we've seen in the past.
And it just lifts all the other Yankees players up as far as their confidence and everything. All right, let's talk about Edwin Diaz. Will he stay cool or start to heat up, Pete? Because this is a guy who's been really shaky. I know he had a great 8th inning last night. Not a whole lot of pressure, but do you think he's going to heat up?
Well, I thought there was a little pressure last night. The Mets have been scoring some runs. You got to keep it down at a 3-run deficit at that point. And Edwin Diaz threw terrific last night. But I'm not buying that he's suddenly heating up here. I still don't have faith in Edwin Diaz. He did make a mechanical difference, if you want to call it that. He changed the grip on his slider to the one that Jacob deGrom uses. Hey, it looked good last night, but it has not been a consistent pitch for him this year. And even last night, when he's throwing well, he still doesn't have his fastball command. And that's something that you have to be able to do, locate your fastball. He's not even close when he misses. So even though he got the results last night, I still don't see this as the beginning of some great turnaround.
I don't trust him as far as I can throw him right now. Keep the ice on the screen because it is a tale of fire and ice with Edwin Diaz. He has this fastball, which made him the best closer in the game last year. It doesn't matter right now if he throws 110 because, one, he can't locate it, and two, his slider is so bad, everyone knows the fastball is coming. And it's not like Mariano Rivera where he's hitting the cutter and he's hitting the black every single time. When they know it's coming, they're going to hit it. These are professional hitters. That slider is unwatchable, and it has cost this Mets team more games than I can count right now. So until he fixes that, I don't trust him, and I don't know how the Mets can either.
I think the only person that trusts him is probably, well, Mickey Callaway doesn't trust him as much anymore because he's got Seth Lugo in the closer spot. All right, let's go to football now. Daniel Jones in his first ever start. He's looked great so far. It's preseason, so we have to temper our expectations, but do you think he'll stay hot or cool off?
I got to say cool off just because there's only one place to go from here, right? He's been so terrific these first 3 games, has all the buzz behind him. We're talking, when he's going to take over for Eli Manning. Maybe it's week 4. And look, I just think that there's got to be that correction at some point, even if it's in a preseason game. He's going to be playing a lot today with a lot of the other backups. And I wouldn't mind to see him struggle a little bit and face a little adversity and see how he handles it, right? If he turns the ball over, throws an interception on that first drive, how does he come back? I think you want to see some of that. So I think that he'll cool off tonight because that's the only direction there is to go. And I actually think it'll be a good thing for him.
Well, I agree with what you're saying. There's only one way he can go because he's been so impressive here. But because Eli Manning is getting the start, and according to Ralph, he's got the leash as far as the playoff run is willing to go, this is his last chance to make an impression here. And he's going up against those same backups that he's playing with as well. And he has made a mockery of these practice squad third-string defenses during the preseason. We're arguing about preseason here, let's be honest. But this is his last chance to say, I was worth the pick, I was worth the trade. I think he's going to want to make his name tonight, and he'll be ready for when his number is called during the regular season.
Especially be fired up. I mean, I know it's not the first round or the first starters, against the Patriots, but to go up against, Belichick and that whole dynasty, I'm sure he's going to be very, very motivated, to show people again that he's the man and the Giants are right in the spot. Justine, what do you think?
I think he's going to continue the trend that he's on, but not good enough for anyone to be saying start him right away. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Still ahead on the thread. Carmelo Anthony in orange and blue again. Why he hit the court today with his former team. That's coming up next on the thread. Still more to do. Stay with us.
The Thread is brought to you by the Citi Rewards Plus card. It rounds your points up to the nearest 10 on every purchase, so you can score big points even on the little things.
Hey, let's make this interesting. Throw down some money right now, and you could earn up to $500 in bonus cash.
I'm gonna get extra greenbacks, just like that.
Abraham, you know I always keep it 100.
You'd do that for me?
No, but DraftKings would.
DraftKings, the U.S. sportsbook for the U.S. sports fan. Everyone gets a deposit bonus up to $500. Plus, we'll match your first bet up to $200. So download the top-rated sportsbook app and make it rain.
Start Saturday strong. And here we go! With Big Noon Saturday on Fox. As Ohio State takes on Florida Atlantic.
In the end zone, touchdown!
Powerhouse back J.K. Dobbins leads a new-look Buckeyes. Whoa! Against Lane Kiffin and the Owls.
Unbelievable!
It all starts with the Big Noon Kickoff pregame show. followed by Florida Atlantic, Ohio State. All part of Big Noon Saturday on Fox. And watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app.
You're a big deal to us, so we've got big deals for you. Build up your fall wardrobe during the Big Deal event at Men's Warehouse this Labor Day. Suits start at $179.99. Dress and woven shirts are 3 for $99.99. Plus, take an extra 40% off select clearance items. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Who's raking? Who's slumping? Who's dealing? Catch up on all the local baseball activity from our panel of insiders as they recap and break down the latest Mets and Yankees action on Baseball Night in New York. Tonight at 6, only on SNY.
All right, good Thursday one and all coming up next on Loudmouth's Mets. They've lost 5 in a row, but the best they have on the mound tonight to snap that losing streak.
Yeah, we'll see how Jacob does, plus Yankee injury issues and the last week of preseason, which means the real stuff's right around the corner. But let's go back to you, Justine, to wrap up the thread about Melo.
Yes, we can't wait for week 1 in the NFL. But in today's Theory of Reality, our NBA insider confirmed that former longtime Knick Carmelo Anthony attended the Knicks' informal 5-on-5 scrimmages today in New York. Melo also worked out with Nets players this offseason. And another thing to keep in mind is that if the Knicks signed him, they would have to waive one of the 15 players they've signed to a guaranteed contract. So, Chris, the other thing that makes this interesting is there was a Nets suspension today, so maybe that could play into this.
Yeah, Wilson Chandler suspended 25 games for a positive PED test, so that changes everything. So when you look at the whole picture, Rob and Pete, there's a reality that Carmelo can play for the Knicks or the Nets this year.
Well, he can technically, but the likelihood is small. But if it's going to happen, you think it's probably going to happen with the Brooklyn Nets here because of the 25-game suspension. They don't lose that roster spot. But what they can do probably is go out there and start offering 10-day contracts, non-guaranteed deals to the likes of a Carmelo Anthony, guys that are willing to accept these tryouts, these live tryouts like Dwight Howard just got in Los Angeles with the Lakers. Carmelo Anthony probably would accept that to show he can prove he can still play in the NBA. His problem with the Brooklyn Nets is that there's 2 guys in front of him. Joe Johnson just cleaned out the big 3.
Yeah.
Like MVP times 2, proved that he's probably worthy of an NBA spot. J.R. Smith is also out there, who has a great relationship with Kyrie and a lot of these guys, and the Nets are pacing space. They want to catch and shoot. Melo's not catch and shoot. Those 2 guys in front of him are. It comes down to a meshing of personalities and game styles.
And if I'm an NBA team that's trying to win now, like the Brooklyn Nets are, I got to look at what happened last year with Melo, right? Of course, right now, Melo's saying all the right things. Oh, I'll play in any role. I'll do whatever you ask. But he didn't make it work with the Thunder. He didn't make it work with the Rockets. Those were 2 quality teams in the Western Conference. So that's got to scare me a little bit that he's just saying what he needs to say right now. And then once he has a roster spot, is he truly going to be that cohesive person that you need from
some
a
of that's on the
veteran.
teams, though. Some of that's on the teams.
Yes, my problem with Melo here is that he has proven with the Rockets and the Thunder, he just can't be a catch-and-shoot guy. There are 2 players in front of him that are simply better. This has nothing to do with Carmelo Anthony is blackballed from the NBA. So let's let that storyline die.
I agree.
I feel like we'll talk about this a lot more. Maybe in another show. All right, Loudmouth is next, guys. Have a good night.
In this town of 24/7 hustle, you need a vehicle that works as hard as you do. Presenting the Ford Labor Day sales event. Time to save on our hard-working trucks and SUVs. With Smart Tech to power your 9 to 5 and driver assist features to help get the job done. It's Labor Day, America. You deserve a break. Get a new Ford F-150 with $10,730 total savings, or lease one for just $169 a month. See details at buyfordnow.com.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth.
J.G. Wentworth, how can I help you get cash?
I want to pay off my debt and move into my own place, but I need cash now to do it.
Let's see if we can help. Do you get regular payments from an insurance company? For example, from a personal injury settlement or car accident?
Yes, monthly, and it's been working out okay. The thing is, it's my money and I need it now.
Right. So how does this sound? In exchange for some or all of your future payments, we give you a lump sum of cash now. And since this isn't a personal loan, there's no credit check. What will you do with more cash? Buy a car, get an apartment, go to school? After all, it's your money. Use it when you need it. Call now and you'll also get $25 for receiving a quote.
Call 1-800-730-1623 for your free cash now quote. That's 1-800-730-1623. Call now.
Thanks, J.G. Wentworth.
Home run derby champ? Check. Hitting the New York lottery sign? Oh yeah, it's happening. You're mine, Mr. Lottery Sign. Feeling lucky? Just like some fan who has a chance to win some cash. See? Told you I'd hit it.
If a Mets player hits a home run off the New York lottery sign over the bullpen at Citi Field, you could win cash. Just go to SNY.TV.